Hi everyone, today I'm going to be talking to you about how to properly clip a dog's nails. Dogs' nails are made of keratin, which is the exact same thing that our own nails are made of. However, they're a very different shape. A dog's nails are more cylindrical, whereas ours are more flat and wide. The very first thing you should always do when clipping a dog's nails is consider your own safety. So Beauty here is very iffy with her feet. She does not like to be in a situation that she's not used to. She doesn't like the sound of the clippers, which is why I'm clipping them beside her without actually clipping her nail yet. And she will snap at you if you're too close and you're making her uncomfortable. Because of all this, I've decided that for my own safety, I'm going to have her muzzled. What is also happening that you cannot actually see on the screen is Beauty's actually on a lead that my mother is holding so she can't turn on me. When clipping a dog's nails, you need the clipper itself and usually styptic powder. So styptic powder is a type of powder that is a clotting agent. So inside a dog's nail, there's a quick. This quick is basically a blood vessel that runs through the nail, and if you accidentally cut it, your dog will bleed. Styptic powder, that has lots of different names, this one in particular is a brand called Trimex. Styptic powder, it'll stop the bleeding, it's a coagulant, and it'll help prevent any sort of infection or anything getting into the nail. So what you do is, if a nail does bleed, you take a piece of the powder and you press it onto the base of the nail and you hold it firmly there for a solid 10 to 20 seconds to make sure that it stops bleeding. I've spent a couple of minutes now just holding her feet and touching her and letting her know that she's not going to be in pain. And now what I'm doing is I'm pretending to clip the nail and then petting her for staying still and being okay with it. So now that she's been sitting here for a little while, I'm going to take the clipper and I'm going to actually clip a piece of her nail, and she'll be able to see that it didn't hurt, it's okay, and there's no reason to turn on me or to jump or to be scared of it. Dogs' nails come in different colours. The clear ones are the easiest ones to clip. If you've got a clear nail, what you do is you can see inside the nail, you can see a little red line, and that red line is the blood vessel. So near the tip of the nail, where it's only pure white and there's no blood vessel in it, you can actually just clip that straight off because you know you're not going to accidentally hit it. The black nails are the ones you're far more likely to hit a quick with. So you can't look inside the nail to see where the quick is. So what you have to do is you take a very small amount off the very top, and you can look at the part that's been cut and there's a circle in the middle. When the circle is dark and perfectly round, you know you're very close to the quick, so you should probably stop there. You'll also notice that a second ago when she tried to take her foot back, I did not let go. If your dog starts to panic or if they start to try pull their foot away from you, be calm and reassuring, pet them, tell them it's okay. Don't give them any treats because you're rewarding the behaviour of them pulling away. So they're just going to think in their mind, oh, well, if I just scream and whine and bark and try to eat her and run away, I get food. This is great. You obviously don't want them doing that. So what you can do is hold onto the foot until they calm down, just so they know that they can't just pull the foot out of your hand. Because if they pull it out of your hand while you're in the middle of clipping, you can rip off their claw, and you definitely don't want to do that. So what I do instead is I'll do one foot at a time. I clip all 4 of the toes on the foot, and then I let go of the foot. I give her freedom. I give her lots of pets. I might give her some treats because she was very good. She let me do the entire foot. Then we move on to the next one. The clippers I'm using are kind of like a pliers style clipper. You can also get ones that look like a scissors, and you can get ones that are mechanical that are called Dremels, where they file down the nails for you. The ones that are styled like scissors should only be used with small dogs and cats and rabbits and guinea pigs. Very small mammals and small dogs, because they're not strong enough to do the thick nails like Beauty has here. Beauty's nails are so thick that the plier one barely does it as well, and you don't want to risk a scissors snapping or half going through a nail and just pinching it, because it's not going to be done properly and the dog's not going to have a good experience and might go, well, listen, I'm not letting them do that again. I'm going to run away next time, or I'm going to bite next time. So again, the exact same thing. Front nail, you can see this one's a white one, so it's going to be far easier to do. So I'm going to cut off about there because I can see the quick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go at a straight angle across. I'm just going to do 1, 2, 3 and a solid snap, and then I can let go of her nail, or let go of her foot, because I clipped it, it's done, she's allowed her foot back. All is well, everything was okay, pet, because she didn't try to eat me. Don't ever do the stupid thing that's circulating online at the moment. There's a video of someone who put cling film around their head and covered it with peanut butter, and the dog is licking the peanut butter while they're clipping the nails, and it's meant to be so that, the dog learns to stay still and you can have an easy way of clipping their nails without them running around and trying to run away. It is the most senseless, dangerous thing I have ever seen go viral. And people who don't know better are like, hey, I'm going to do this is going to be great. But as you can see here, Beauty was completely fine for the back foot. She tried to wiggle away for a little while, that was fine. But with that nail there a second ago, she did try and turn. The only reason she didn't get me is because she's muzzled and she's on a lead. She's not turning because, oh, I hate you, you're a terrible person. She's turning out of a reaction. She heard a loud, scary noise and her foot is in a dangerous position in her opinion. And she's a big dog. People don't lift her up anymore. Not like when she was a pup. So she's obviously not used to this. This is a very scary situation for her. If she was unmuzzled without a lead beside my face, she will unintentionally, whether she means to or not, she's going to get my nose, my eyes, my cheeks, my lips, everything. And do you know how disfiguring scars can be on your face? Is it really worth it for this funny 2-minute, haha, look, I got peanut butter on my head, I'm so cool? No, it's not. The only time I've ever seen peanut butter being useful is when a dog really hates the bath. You put peanut butter on the wall of the bath, they will lick the peanut butter off the wall of the bath while you're washing them. And that is completely fine, it's completely harmless. You can still have them tied to the side of the bath so they can't turn on you if they get spooked. That is the best thing I've seen peanut butter being used for. Never nail clipping. Just don't. If you're concerned about your dog, if your dog doesn't stay still, train them to stay still and give them brilliant treats afterwards. So Beauty was horrific the first week I tried this, whereas now she'll lie down. She used to not lie down. She'd stand there the whole time, growling, barking, trying to run away. But she's way better now. I'd say within the next few months I'll be grand to just do a muzzle with no lead. A couple months after that, maybe I'll be able to do no muzzle at all. But there's no rush on it. Safety first. Clipping the nails on a dog that is completely used to having their nails clipped is far, far easier. So Tia here is so used to having her nails clipped that usually she'll just fall asleep. She doesn't care in the slightest. She sees it as affection and some sort of attention. She is happy out. So my go-to with her is I lie her down on her back, her feet are in the air, she'll lick the hell out of my hand for some reason, which is very slimy, and I just take her foot and I will clip the nails on the feet, 1 foot at a time, reward her with petting. And that's her happy out. Each dog is different. At the time of filming this video, Tia actually had 1 broken claw, so I will not be doing anything with that claw. I'm letting it heal and seal up. She was playing with one of the rubber kongs and she stood on it crooked and it slipped out from under her foot and it actually snapped the nail in half. So her nail is really crooked, it's way shorter than it usually is, and you can tell in comparison to the ones beside it, like it's really, really short. So I won't be touching that. I'm going to leave that alone because it's still healing, and if I clip the others, it'll get to be the same length as everyone else and it'll eventually even out. Here you can see a great example of what I meant by the very tips of the nails being white and the lower part of the nail being a kind of pinkish colour. So you can see where the blood vessel ends. So I line up the clippers, I get ready to do it, and then as soon as it's in place I can just one really quick snap and it takes off the tip. Tia doesn't care at all. Ideally you shouldn't have to clip your dog's nails at all. Dogs will naturally wear down their nails when they're on pavement or when they're walking on roads and paths. But if you have an indoor dog or if you have a dog that lives, say, in a flat or in a house with no backyard, that sort of stuff, you will need to clip down their nails occasionally. Tia tends to walk a lot on the grass. She doesn't really like walking on the path, so that's why I have to clip down her nails occasionally. Toby very rarely needs his nails clipped ever because he runs everywhere, so his nails are always like wearing themselves down. And Beauty is, because she's so morbidly obese, she needed her nails clipped because she just wasn't walking anywhere. She lived in a place where basically she was sitting in the same place all day long, being fed this, that and the other, and didn't have to walk anywhere to get it. It was brought to her. She'd go outside maybe 10 feet, go pee, and come back inside. That was it. So her nails are extremely overgrown, and because they're overgrown, the quick has gone all the way to the tip, so I can only take off a little bit at a time. I'm hoping in the next 3 or 4 months they should be a normal length. Like I said, Toby's claws never really need clipping, but the only one that does need clipping occasionally is the dew claw. So Toby's different again. I tell him to sit, he gives me the foot, that's it. So the dew claws are these ones that kind of look like their thumbs. You just take off the very, very tip of them, and that's it. So his are all black. If it's a white nail on a dog, it's way easier. But his ones are black. He kept licking me. His ones are black, so I take off the very, very tip and I just look at them again and decide if they're good enough. That's it. And he's got one on the other side as well that I need to do. He's trained that if I point upwards, he'll sit down, so that's why I'm doing this. But it's just the two front ones where like their thumbs would be, and that's all he needs. The rest of his claws are perfectly short. To tell if your dog's nails are short enough or too long, if they are standing or if they're walking across tile, you should not hear their claws. Their claws should be slightly off the ground. If they're running, you'll always hear them because that's why they're there. They're there for gripping. But if they are just walking along at a normal, just chilled out pace, you should not hear their claws hitting the floor. If you have a very long-haired dog, or if you have a Bichon or a Maltese or something with that kind of hair, check their dew claws. A lot of people don't realise that their dogs have dew claws, and those claws end up growing so long that they curl out of the foot all the way around and they pierce into the pad like a really bad ingrown toenail. So make sure if your dog is a long-haired breed, take a look at their feet. Hold their feet sometimes before you give them food or before you play with them and stuff, so they know it's not a big deal. And just know whether or not they have dew claws, because the amount of dogs I've been given for grooming that I'll have to just ring them and say, hey, listen, I can't do anything with this dog's feet. You're going to have to bring them to the vet because they've got this nail that's ingrown into their own toe and it's infected, and they're going to have to basically be put to sleep to do an operation to remove that claw, and it's going to be painful and uncomfortable, and the poor dog, it's not their fault because that claw doesn't hit the floor when they're walking. They can't file it down. So just know your dog. Just know your dog so you know when something is wrong with their feet. Just take a look at them every now and then and you'll be familiar with them. So yeah, that's it for this video. I hope I helped if people had any sort of queries about how to clip a dog's nails. If you have any questions, leave them below in the comments and I'll do my best to help. And thank you very much for watching.